Hey, what's up? Hi, it's me. How's it going? It's been a while. Yes, it has. I figured I'd do an intro for this one because it's been a hot minute since I took like a week off or whatever. It was impromptu. It just hadn't happened. What are you gonna do? But yeah, fun. I enjoy doing this. I like sitting down. I feel more complete. Like I did something. Like I actually accomplished something. But yeah, this is good. I enjoyed myself. I got real mad about Goblin Slayer. I just don't like that series as like a manga, and then now people are like, it's so offensive. It's like, nope, it's just offensive to your brain because it's stupid. Which is weird too, because I like defended it on the show when it first came out. I was like, this could be really cool, and it just kind of just spun its wheels. And now I'm like vehemently against it. And now to have people be like, this also sucks for this reason. It's like, nope, just sucks. It sucks, but you're saying for the wrong reason. I don't know. I'm kidding, but I got real mad. Listening back to this, I was like, wow, I'm really upset with this fucking show. And I haven't even seen the episode yet. I have to watch the show. But I don't really want to because I fucking hate the fucking manga. I don't want to read anymore. So why would I watch the thing too? Why would I watch what I've read and then I know I don't like? Like I know it's not going to get any better. But I don't know. I'm very mad. Very mad about this thing. I have so many problems. But no, everything else is fun. Talk about Kingdom Hearts. That's always fun. It's my favorite thing in the world, as you probably know. Yeah. So hopefully, I think we are definitely doing one next week with a guest. I think. I hate making the promises, but I think that's happening. So I'm gonna make the promise. I'm gonna try to be better with myself and make the promise. So, that should be everything. I think that's everything. I just pulled a supernova into Sephiroth in Union Cross. That means nothing to anyone. It was just it's a really strong metal. That's all that means. It cost me a lot of time to grind up the money to buy this thing. But other than that, yeah, that's about all there is to that. Enjoy. I hope you like this, and more to come. All right, enjoy.
This is your brain, and this
is your brain on Tom.
Hey, what's up? It's Tom. How's it going? Ugh, I'm so full of mucus. Tired. It's been 2 weeks. It's crazy. I usually don't like letting it go this far, but it kind of just happens when you're dying. So now I'm less dying. So here we are. How are you? How's it going? How are things? Yeah, it's weird. Like I'm always like super like, oh no, I need to get it out. And then like someone like Kevin Pereira is like, hey, here's a 9-minute episode of me saying I'm back, and I'm like, fucking let's go. Let me eat all that up. Yum yum yum. And then he's like, hey, I'm back, and it's like cool. He went through a bunch of stuff though, so I understand him like disappearing. Like I think it was Twitch botting or something, and his whole company had to collapse, and I don't know. But he still works for the one kid, so I don't know. They still use the name too, so I don't know what that is either. And I think they just stream on YouTube, so maybe that's how they skirted around like people on Twitch being like, hey, stop, and he's like, oh no, you caught me. I don't know. I have no idea what actually happened. I just remember him like ducking out, and he was like, I can't do this anymore. But like to be fair, he was trying to do Attack of the Show on Twitch, and like no one knew about it, and like it's hard to like jump in as your starting point being that, as opposed to like, hey, let's just do a small little show with a few people and then grow it to that. It was weird, and like they tried to sell it to Disney. I don't even know why I'm getting to Kevin Pereira's career right now. Probably because I love the man and I love him so much. He's so great, but yeah, I have no idea what that was about. He's back though. I guess that's the point of my tangent here, is that he's back and he can take like fucking 9 months off and be like, oh hey, I'm back. And everyone's like, let's go. Or like, I don't know. I'm like, let's fucking go. He always often makes jokes that he's got like a small viewership, so maybe that's true. I don't know, but I love him. He's one of the people that like inspired me to do this. It's crazy. He's awesome. I love him. I miss G4. I was just thinking about it the other day. I was actually at a birthday party yesterday, and someone like referenced, what are they talking about? Oh, it's Godfather, the PS2 game. And I was like, they reviewed that on X-Play. And like I thought it was a 4 out of 5. It was actually a 3 out of 5, which I was close. But yeah, I miss that show. I miss them. I miss like that core group of like Olivia Munn, Kevin Pereira, Adam Sessler, and More Than Web. Oh, those four together. It was so perfect. It was only like maybe 2-3 years total. It probably even less than that. It was only like 2 years max. Like they were not on that show as a unit for a long time, or that channel for a long time. Ugh. It sucks too, because we'll never have that again. Like, that moment will just never happen again. Like, who's going to put a bunch of weird video game stuff and nerd stuff on TV? No one. You put online, but then, like, the amount of stuff happening online is such a wider net that, like, how do you catch, or how do people find that? Which is, like, what happened to Kevin Pereira when he tried to recreate Attack of the Show. Like, no one knew about it. I only knew about it because I was like, does Kevin Pereira have a podcast? And he sure fucking did, and then he would talk about it a bunch. Like, no one else of that 4 really did anything else after that. I think Morgan Reb's I think she's a consultant on video games or something. She travels a lot. I know that. So I'm assuming that's what her job is. I think. And then Adam Sessler tried to keep doing his review thing, and then he ducked out too for something. I don't remember what it was. He got really mad about something or something, or I forget. So he had done something, and like he had like a big reaction to something, and he like ducked out. It wasn't like a bad thing though. I think he was like reacting like Trump or something. He got like real mad, and he had like a real angry moment. He ducked out for a minute, and he like quit this thing he was doing. I don't remember. He's like the one I probably follow the least, even though it's weird because Morgan Webb is like off the grid. I kind of have like a general idea. She was on Kevin Pereira's show, so I have like a general idea of what she does. And everyone knows what Olivia Munn does because it's Olivia Munn. Yeah, that one. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Yeah, she fucking took off. Apparently her and Kevin aren't friends or don't talk or something. I don't know. It upsets me to know that they are not all like friends. I hate when like internet people or people that I follow are like actually as close as I wish they are in my head. And it makes me really sad. Like the whole like Colin Moriarty and Greg Miller thing. It's like, oh, this breaks my heart. I hate when parents fight. Don't fight, Mom and Dad. Ugh, so sad. Like Colin was actually on Pat the NES Punk's podcast. I don't know why I'm talking about podcasts right now, but I'm feeling it. I guess that's what I've been doing mostly. Is I just like listen to them while I drive around these silly schools. But he was on one with Pat the NES Punk, which I do enjoy his show a lot. More of his like this version of a show where it's just like him talking and occasionally a guest comes in. I like that one a lot. He has one with like a friend of his, which is good, and they talk about like game news too. But his friend gets a little like kind of crazy sometimes, like just like I don't know, just like real political correctness stuff. It's like I would just like to talk about the video games. Can we just vert away from that? So Pat's a little bit more like calm, just like hey, this thing is going on, and I want to talk about it, and like that's obviously it's what I like because that's what I do. But yeah, Colin was on, and he was like really emotional and like really like personal. I was like, oh, I forgot why I love this man. He's so wonderful. Look at him just be like, hey, things are going well for me. I'm trying to help other people do well now, and like it's a great episode. I forget what does he call that one? Both Pat's podcasts have weird names. Like one's completely unnecessary, and then one is like shit. I don't remember what they're fucking called. If you just look up him, you probably could find them. But like I think the Pat the NES Punk or the Colin Moriarty one that they did like solo, I think that one's on YouTube in full. The other ones you'd like go to his Patreon to get the video of them in full. I can't remember what the names of them are. They like that they're weird names like that. It's like completely unnecessary and like something else that's like not very like a definitive sentence. It's like kind of like that, but they're both very good. One for like news and then one for like just if you like the man. Like, and I kind of like that more. And I thought about that recently too. And maybe I'll have someone on and talk about this more in depth. But like, isn't it weird that like art nowadays is like, oh, and you know why I thought this is because I've been watching that Shane Dawson thing about Jake Paul, which is absolutely fascinating. I absolutely like in love with the series. And like I don't really know about like the other people that he's done these on, like the TanaCon thing. Like I know he was a part of that, and that's why he kind of released something like that. And then is it Jeffree Star or Jason Star? I forget. Like the other guy he did. I don't know anything. I'd never even heard of this guy until he did it. And apparently he's like a controversial figure on YouTube or the internet in general. I have no idea. Really, I don't really know where he like came from. I don't know who he is. The TanaCon one seemed like more like an apology. It was like, oh, this all fucking blew up. Let me apologize. And I think it's only like one part to it. And it's only just like a one chunk video. Like the Jake Paul one's like going to be 8 parts. But it could be more too, because he edits them on the spot. So like I don't know if he would like add to it or something. But like it's fascinating to watch like how this dude like built an empire around himself. Like what he's making isn't really that fascinating. It's pretty much they're just attempting to do Jackass, but with like lower charisma, which is really I think the only reason. And the only reason that worked is because like all of them are friends. Like it seems like a lot of the stuff that they showcase to like be like, whoa, Jake Paul's fucked up, is like he does a thing and everyone's like, dude, what the fuck, stop. And like they did that on Jackass occasionally, where someone would be like, actually like, dude, I'm not happy right now. But like he seems to be more like it just seems like it's a more like bullying thing as opposed to like friends just fucking with each other. So like it seems like they're trying to do that. Because actually at one point they walk into his house, which is fucking bananas by the way. Holy shit, that house is crazy. And like one dude's like, hey, have you seen this thing on Jackass? And Jake Paul's like, nah, I have no idea what you're talking about. So I think like a few of them are like, let's be the Jackass guys of like this era. So that's kind of weird that you'd think that that's how you'd work it around. And like, I don't know, the Team 10 thing's so weird. But he like just sells himself. Like the reason an 8-year-old is going there which is also weird because now I'm like around those people, like I'm around his demographic, and it's very strange to like see them and then see a third grader walk up, take a picture. I'm like, oh, interesting. You're probably super into this dude, or at least Fortnite, or one of those like little kid things that like you get kind of like, why are kids into this? And then you kind of like see a child and you're like, oh, you are very small. Like, this is what an 8-year-old looks like. This is not a person. This is a small child. Like, you are not fully developed, and it's very clear. Like, when I say, hey, put your hands in your pocket, and you don't know what that means, it's now becoming clear why you might be interested in things that are like weird and like not as interesting to me. So it's kind of weird, like how it works out that way. But no, I'm back to my point. He's like selling himself. Like, he's just like, the art is the vessel of which you get the product, which is him. So the art of the video is just how you found him, who is the actual thing he's selling and you're there for, if that makes sense. Like, I had this thought like yesterday or 2 days ago when I was listening. I was like going through my like Spotify like things. I had like, you know, artists you've listened to in the past. There was some section like that where it's just a bunch of stuff I've listened to, and Pogo came up. I was like, fuck, I haven't listened to Pogo first. I put him on, and he's like a remix artist. He takes like Disney movies, like old ones, like Alice in Wonderland is like the big one. Alice is like the big song of his, and like he remixes songs using like beat and then like words from like the singing is words from movies, and he like recreates that. And I was like, fuck, I haven't listened to this guy in forever. And I was like, I actually don't even know anything about this guy, like at all. But I really do like, I've listened to a bunch of his music before. Like, what I would know about him is that he likes Disney stuff, and like, you know, because that's the stuff he uses for his like reference of the song. That's really all I know about him. Because remember he had one song that was like, he reused like Trump talking to make a song, and I was like, I don't even know where he leans politically. And I was like, I don't think does that really matter? Probably not. But like, I don't know anything about this guy. Like, I just don't know anything about him, because he's like he's like that old guard where it's like you release the song and like that's all that matters. You're releasing the art piece and that's all that matters. But like now with like Twitch and YouTube and stuff, because like movies, think about how many movies you may have watched. You don't know anything about any of the production staff. You don't know. You probably know the name of the director, but you might not even know that unless you're like deep in the weeds. You might not know who some of these movies. You might not know who directed it. You might know the name of an actor, but you might not even know all that. Like, that could be it. You don't really know who edited it. You don't know who was the DP on the project. You don't know anything like that, because that's just not what was like. You're selling the actual finished product. But like now, like if Jake Paul made a movie, it would fucking go crazy. It would do so well. But it's because he is the selling point, not the actual product, if that makes sense. And that's weird. That like we hit that point where like a Twitch streamer, you might not even give a fuck about the game. Like, I watched Demolition D. I love you so much. Please come back. Like, he doesn't stream that much. I think he's currently underwater after the hurricane. But like, he's like just a dude, and he streams games I've never even heard of. When he streams, which he hasn't done in fucking months. He tried, and then the hurricane was like, no, fuck you, dude. You aren't doing shit. But like, he's just a guy I find funny. And so I'll just put him on and then do other things in the background, like a podcast, where like he's playing a video game at the same time. It's weird, but like that's a streaming thing. Like, you're there for the person, not for the game. Occasionally, I've watched people stream a game in specific that like, I would like to know more about this thing. Like the fucking the Call of Duty not Battlefield. What's that franchise or genre called? Battle Royale. The Call of Duty Battle Royale thing. I was like, oh, it'll be interesting if this isn't total dog shit. Let's see if this is good. And it actually looks pretty cool, but I don't know if I want to buy a Call of Duty game. If they would just sell that separate, I'd buy it, but I don't really want the whole product. I don't want a full $60 product. Just want that thing. Just that thing. That thing, please. Although they've done it in the past with Call of Duty. They've like just released, just like, there's the multiplayer if you just want this. Or no, do they do that? They did that for one of them. And then they did like, you can like pick when you're downloading or installing the game, like just install multiplayer first and then do the other thing. I don't think you can not install both, but I think you can pick which order they get installed, I think. I'm very out of the loop with Call of Duty. I haven't played since Modern Warfare 2. But this Battle Royale thing looked cool, because it's like, it's basically just PUBG, but it works. And that sounds cool. Because PUBG like barely works. PUBG's like, I don't know. It should be a cool thing. It just doesn't run really well. It should be the bigger game. It just doesn't run very well. Like that's why Fortnite exploded, because it's like, oh, here's this really cool concept. Oh, but it also fucking works, and now anyone can play it anywhere because we figured out how to make it work. And like, Blue Hole seemed to like totally miss the gun on that one. But what was I saying? Oh, selling of the person, not the art. Yeah, that's just fascinating to me, because like that is kind of where we're at, where it's like, oh, I like this person. Like, Fortnite's really big, and it made Ninja really big, but I can bet you when Fortnite starts to die down, Ninja will remain a massive figure, because at least he'll be like in the news. I might not like see him as often when like, you know, in things, but he'll occasionally make the news of like, hey, like I can bet you the next big thing he claims that he's going to push hard, that'll make a news like that, because he is the person, not the game he's playing. His stream, I mean, his stream visually looks super like low key, you know. It's like he doesn't even have a green screen. Like he's like not really like going crazy here. He's just like, for a long time it was just him in his bedroom. Still, even when he's making millions a day, like he was just in his bedroom. Like that's the kind of like, it didn't really matter what the art was, what he was producing. That doesn't matter. It's the person and his gameplay. But like that's a branch of him where it's like, okay, he's really good at this game. And, you know, maybe you watch because you want to get better at the game, whatever, but like you're watching for the person. And like YouTube's a lot like that too. It's like, I'm watching for this person. What does this person have to say? Like, I love Jay Nicholson. I don't really care what she's talking about half the time. You know, I just want to hear what she has to say about that thing. So I don't even know what she calls herself, a vlogger or I don't really know. She just sits on her bed and talks about something. I don't really know what that's called. But like, that's the thing. Like her thing is, again, super like a low key production value, but it's just her talking about a thing. And like, I don't really care. Comic Girls 19, same thing. When she puts out a video, it's like she does more like a podcast like theme type of thing, where it's like, here's a topic and I'm going to talk about that. And Jay Nicholson does the same thing, so I guess it's kind of that same vein of like thought process. Like, I'm going to talk about a thing, and you can like, but I almost never skip any of their videos. You know, Comic Girl 19 and Jay Nicholson. I just want to know more of like what they're talking about. Like, oh, what's this thing you want to do or you're focused in? That's kind of fascinating. Like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I started to fall down the theme park rabbit hole because Jenny Nicholson's really into theme parks. I'm like, oh, interesting. There's a community for this. Let me go and look into this. And I started watching other theme park related videos. So it kind of like, it grew an interest in me, but like, I didn't have that interest. I didn't go to her video because it's like, oh, I'd like to know more about theme parks. This is a place to start. It was like, I just like Jenny, and oh, okay, she's like this other thing. Now I like this thing. Like, it's weird. Is that making sense? Am I just rambling now? I don't even know. I'm talking for 15 minutes about this thing. I don't even know if this is like a thing that makes sense, but I don't know. I need to like develop it further, but I had it like yesterday in the car, which is like where I think a lot about things. I've actually thought about doing, and like probably what I would need to do is a lot, like spend money wise, is like record a podcast in my car, because like I'm so stream of consciousness in my car, like this is a kind of stream of consciousness type of thing, but like I'm really stream of consciousness in my car, but like it will go for like maybe 15 minutes where I don't really have anything to say or like think about, but like if I could just like record what I'm talking or like thinking about in the car, like that would be like, I don't know, I feel like it'd be interesting just to see. What would that be? I don't even know what that would look like, but just like while I'm driving to something or whatever, I can just like put a record. Actually, I do have a portable recorder. I wonder if I could use that and like lapel myself in. Maybe I should do that just once. I don't know. But it's like, it's not like I plan it or like I get in the car. It's just like I get in the car and I start getting like kind of comfortable, and then I just like kind of go. I have like things to talk about and like I have ideas. I had more of that when I had a desk job, where it's like I had like a strict, like almost like a schedule of like, you know, when I would go to work, I would not really have much of this, but when I was coming home after listening to like days or hours of podcasts and stuff like that, I'd have like all these like talking points to my, like, if like there are things to think about, then I'd have like more complex thoughts. So I don't know if that would be, maybe it'd be a neat thing. I don't know. I have that recorder. I don't know if I should just like leave that in my car until I'm feeling it or something. But yeah, that's the Jake Paul thing. Really fucking good. I can't wait to see how it ends. I'm very curious. Cause like I don't think I'm allowed to say, but like I actually really kind of like Jake Paul. I don't think you're supposed to say that. I think you're supposed to hate the guy forever, but I kind of like him. He's kind of a nice kid. He's just like, I don't know. I really feel for him. And like maybe that is like the whole sociopath thing. Like, oh, he's a monster. But like, I don't know. He seems like a real genuine dude. And he's just trying to grind. And like he's got like is living in his brother's shadow a little bit, and like that kind of sucks. I feel for this kid. And like they found a lot of footage of him like just feeling uncomfortable or like being like, oh fuck, I'm getting like Logan's going, I gotta stop now. I like stuff like that. Like I don't know. They did a lot of research. It's kind of interesting, but he seems like a real genuine guy. I don't know. Just like what he's making is not for anyone over the age of 12, but like he's trying to make something. Fucking that house is bananas. It's crazy. So crazy. Oh my god, they used to have like a boxing ring in the house, probably just left over from when they were doing the boxing thing. But like, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna fight again. It's like, yeah, don't fucking. Of course, you made so much money. Do it again. Keep going. Like, if people hate you, I guess getting into fights is the way to make a bunch of money. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, it's really good so far. I think there's like 2 parts left. But he keeps talking about like, oh, maybe we should do this, maybe we should do this. And I think he edits it on the spot, so he might add like a 9th bonus part or something. I don't know. It'll be interesting. There's like a lot more, there's like a lot of things where he's like, I don't know if I can put this on camera. And like, I wish he would, because I think it'd be interesting, but like, I think it would hurt him as like, him and his family and all that shit. So maybe he doesn't, but like, I think it would help people understand the person and like what he's going through and that kind of thing. But it's fascinating. It's been a fascinating series. I'm going to also talk about something else real quick. I'm going to vert real hard. I'm going to take the wheel. I'm going to turn it hard right. Yeah, that won't kill people. Going hard left would kill people. Going hard right, I'm going to go hard right. And we're going a different lane. I've been watching and finished American Vandal, Season 2. And I brought up, I think on the last episode, that I was going to get back to it, or start it or something. And holy cow, what a program. What a program. What a television program. It's so good. It's so fucking amazing. It doesn't make any sense. And the first season's really good. It's really fucking solid. It's all on Netflix. The Netflix original, I think. And like, actually no, it is, because the second season, so the first season, when it comes out, I don't know if I talked about it. If I talked about the show, then I've already mentioned this, but I'm gonna bring it up again. When they start season 2, they talk about how season 1 in universe is on Netflix and was bought by Netflix and then produced that way. And then they have footage of them like at like talk shows and stuff like that. So like, they're doing the coolest fucking thing ever, where like this show that they made is it's in our reality. It's in like what we watched on Netflix is like how it was distributed. Most people watched it that way. So this really happened, like that kind of thing. I was like, this is a thing that actually went down. Was there was a person with like all this, graffiti on the cars, and then these people solved this mystery, and like this is a thing that actually happened. And then the second season comes out where people are like emailing them like, hey, I have a Vandal case. Hey, can you research this? And like they've become, I don't know, it's such an interesting fucking way to do it, and I think it's so cool. I don't know. I kind of hope they never stop this, because it's such an interesting thing. I love this like pseudo-reality like space of shows and stuff. I want to try to do something like this, where it's like, this is kind of real, but is it not? Like they do the opening credits are all in universe, so it's like shot and edited by, and it's like the 2 main characters, like the 2 kids that do like the production, and like one of the producers is the teacher that was like running the AV club in the last season, because like they're in Washington State, as opposed to, I forget where they came from originally. I almost rewatched the first season, and I was like, well, it doesn't really matter what the first season's about, because like it's really just the 2, as long as I remember the 2 guys, Sam and Peter, then I can just move to the next thing. I don't like, they're the ones that like, they're the only things that like the linchpin between the 2, because I don't really connect it in any real way. What was I saying? Oh, but it's fucking, yeah, that like pseudo realism is like so fascinating to me. It's like, this is a thing that kind of like it happened, and like in universe, it's like, no, we're in your universe. Like they're like almost like looking at you at the screen, like, no, we're here, we're the same place. I find that so fascinating. And like if you watched it and never watched the end credits, you could theoretically have a person be like, no, this happened, because you wouldn't notice that the names were different in the end credits. Or it's like, oh, created by or produced by or directed by or whatever. It's a different person than the main characters. But like, I don't know, I find that very cool. I like that a lot. I like how they're doing that. Like Nirvana Band, the show kind of does that, where like they'll, but then the way they're doing it, they're actually interacting with actual human beings. So like it's their stupid fucking characters in a situation with real fucking people, and like they're utilizing situations where it's, I think the reason they go to the magazine is like their show is being talked about in the magazine, so now they have access to the thing, and so like, let's abuse this power, so they'll go and pretend that they're breaking in or something like that. So they're always messing with like an actual human being, which I think is cool. I think that's like a neat idea of like, oh, they're real people that these fictional characters are interacting with. But like in this show, it's everyone's fictional characters, but we're being told this is in our universe. And I like that too. And it was so good. Season 2 is so good. So many twists, so many turns. It's amazing. Every episode ends with like a cliffhanger where you're like, how is this going to go on for 2 more episodes? And then like they'll do something like, motherfucker. Like, I thought by the end of episode 7, I was like, oh, they solved it. Is like episode 8 like an aftermath episode? Nope, not even remotely. Not even remotely. They went in a totally way, like a crazy way that I wasn't even expecting. It was amazing. And like, I always thought like the first season required you to like be involved or like interested in that like true crime like wave. Like, it was a big deal. I mean, I guess still kind of is, where like making a murderer, the staircase, even though that came out a while back. So I like at the time of American Vandal 1 coming out, I had watched like Serial, Making Murderer, and Staircase like all in a row. And then that show came out, I was like, this is fucking brilliant. That's like, they're like lampooning this concept. But like, I guess the Staircase is like been re-released from, I think Netflix bought it and re-released it or whatever. Like, I had to pirate it when I first watched it. I just heard it was super good, so I found it. But like, yeah, it was like that. I guess it's still kind of in the zeitgeist of like this like weird murder thing. But, or I guess not necessarily a murder thing, but like this like documentary style investigation of like whatever. Fascinating stuff. I love it so much. It's so cool. It's such a cool idea. And the show's so good. And like, it ends on like a message. Like, that was fucking unexpected of like, I don't even want to talk about the message, because it might spoil it a little bit. I don't even know. Because I guess it's like so much of the point that's like hard to say. And it's so funny too, because like I was talking to Mike about it, and he was like, oh, I tried to watch first season 1, and I tried to watch the first episode of season 1, and I was like, this is like a big dick joke, and then like I stopped. I was like, no, it is. And the second season is just a big poop joke, but like, it's so much more. That's just like the framework that it sits on, but there's so much more to it. It's fucking brilliant. It's so well written. It's like, and like, it's cool too, because I think what they do is like, they don't reshoot something if someone doesn't like flubs their lines a little bit, because it's supposed to be so real. So like, sometimes someone will stutter for a minute and then get the line out and stuff like that, and it's like, this is fascinating. This is like, the production of this is so interesting. And like, there's like this third mysterious cameraman, because like the character Sam does a lot of the camera work, but there's this other guy, and I think they talk about that other guy in season 1, but he's not really mentioned in season 2 at all, so I forget who that was. There's like this omnipotent third cameraman who they don't really mention, or even you never even see him. But so like, it's kind of like a normal show at times, but then sometimes they go into like that found footage, like we're doing a documentary style at the same time. It's weird. It's a weird like balance between the two, because it's still very much fiction. So having like that, oh, it's so good. I like binged the last 3 episodes, because I was like, oh, I have to go to this birthday party for a friend of mine. So let me just get through. I thought I only had 2 left. I was like, okay, I'll watch like an hour, and then I'll head out. And then it was like, oh, an hour and a half. But like, it was so good. I was like, I'm not fucking this. Everything's going to fucking wait for me to finish this fucking episode, or this season, because this is amazing. So good. Just kept going places, kept going in different directions and taking different. It's so good. Fucking love that show so much. I can't wait for season 3. If I imagine there's gonna be a season 3. I don't know how popular this is, because when American Vandal 1 came out, I saw it everywhere. Everyone's like, "Holy shit, this is fucking brilliant! What the fuck? This is crazy. This is so fucking great." Because like, if you didn't know what it was when you first watched that first episode, it's like it's so good, because they play it so seriously, and it's like a very serious like, all right, what did you like? Tell us your name. What did you do? And he's like, what the fuck? I didn't draw the dicks. And then you're like, what the fuck is happening? And then it just like starts to really go into like what it is, because it takes the first like 3 minutes like building like this. This is really serious. This may be like a rape. This could be on a murder. What's going on? Oh, it's fucking dicks on cars. All right. I'm here for the ride. Let's go. Like, it's really good how they like that's why I think it's like, I don't know how important it is to have watched all of those like murder shows. The Jinx too, that's the one that I watched as well. Around that time of like, oh, this is really serious, and we gotta be really somber, and we gotta get to this. Oh, it's fucking dicks. Like, it was I don't know how that punch and like the way they, because I'll often like go back to that, like, this is really serious. We need you to talk about the dicks, and it's like, oh, okay, we're back now, okay, and like they'll like start going down one path and quickly revert back to the silly path, and like, oh, all right, cool, we're back to the dumb. Oh my god, I'm dying. But yeah, American Vandal, 10 out of 10, highly recommend it. And now, we'll talk about the anime, because a new season started, and like, I want to start watching some of it, because I actually often don't watch what's currently out. Like, I started Ichijo the other day. That show came out like fucking years ago, 2006. I was in high school and that show was coming out, so I don't know. It's fucking old. I started that. Oh, so adorable. I don't watch enough cute girls doing cute things anime, which is, especially in the comedy space, which I think is fucking adorable. It's just hilarious. So I started watching that. And that's very backwards and silly and weird. But like, so that's a good example of, I don't often watch what's currently coming out. And I know everyone's like losing their fucking mind over Goblin Slayer. And it's like, bro, I've been reading this manga forever. Fucking like, if like, I don't understand. Like, and like, no, it's not like people have been like making a secret that this series is kind of fucked up. Like the first episode and or chapter opens with a rape. Like it's pretty violent and like kind of gross and like not really done well at all because it's not a good series at all. Like it's not written well. Like I dropped it recently because I was like, I don't even know what's happening. It has the problem that like monthly release manga has where like it doesn't do a good job of wrapping up what just happened or like trying to bring you back to on pace with what's going on. And like I realized it too, like Attack on Titan sort of has this problem, but not really. Where like it will just keep it works better in a binge where like almost like if I'm reading Attack on Titan like in a bunch in a row like right now, I won't even remember that like a chapter ended. Because like chapter ends, chapter starts at like it's like as if there was no beat missed. And that's weird, but I've also noticed that like when a chapter ends, they're not very clear as to what like there's no like bombshell drop. There's not a big bomb drop like, oh my god, what just happened? Like you just revealed what? It's like someone will be like, so yeah, that thing. They go, yep, that thing. And then we start the chapter and then like they're talking about they're doing that thing. Like it's kind of weird. Like there was like I can't remember what it was. Someone had mentioned something and like it was like super like vague. Well, not super vague, but it was like kind of vague and it was like kind of loose. I was also falling asleep while I was reading this. But like so I'm at that part where it's like all the politics and I kind of see where people are like, this is really boring because it's like a lot of politics and a lot of like just what's inside the walls and like the mystery of like what do people know. It's weird. But someone had just like mentioned something like, hey, this plan. They're like, that's right, the plan. And then like the next chapter started and it was Erwin and is it Pix, the other guy for the garrison team or the garrison force, like talking, and they're talking about what they just were vaguely mentioning in the other chapter. So it's like weird and like kind of works better. But Goblin Slayer doesn't have that. Goblin Slayer has like, we're in a dungeon and someone might be dead. Start chapter, and now we're just continuing on. Like it's weird. It's like really weird, and like you almost have to read the chapter before to continue. It's like weirdly paced, and I didn't like it. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. I've dropped a lot of monthly releases. Like pretty much just like One Punch Man is the only one I like stick with, because like. That one actually is done pretty well, and like you really don't. It doesn't like. There's a decent enough like you have like 50 pages. Take one to recap for me, please. It's been a month or sometimes more. Like One Punch Man's even more sometimes. It's like they'll do like 300-page chapters, so it's like they'll make up for it. But like just for the love of God, just take a page to recap me real quick because it's been forever. If I'm binging this, not a problem, but I'm not. And like Goblin Slayer had that problem, so I was like, I just fucking don't care about this anymore. I'm the same way with like Made Abyss. I'm like, I just don't fucking care about this anymore. Like, this is stupid. I don't know what's happening. That one's the worst offender of all of this. Of just like, did you fucking just reread the whole series before this came out? Because you better fucking have. This is not going to make any fucking sense. And like, it doesn't help because everything's fucking just ambiguous blobs of flesh. And like, I don't know what I'm even looking at. What is this monster? I hate Made Abyss. It's so poorly done. It's so weird that like when the anime came out, everyone's like, "This is the greatest thing ever." I'm weeping. This is amazing. It's fuck you. You're stupid as shit. This is dumb. I hate this. Like you're just the anime honestly might be better. It might actually like be able to like if someone's actually a good draftsman and can make actual shapes out of this nonsense that's fucking happening in the manga and like actually not make it weird pedo shit. Sure, it's probably amazing, but like the manga's hot garbage and it's the same shit anyway. Pacing's weird too. I think they fixed the pacing in the anime, but I digress. I hate Made Abyss. Goblin Slayer, though, also don't really like it. I've tried it and tried it and tried it. And it's like, this isn't really working. And, like, it's stupid. And, like, I don't even give a shit about, like, the rape stuff or, like, the other gross stuff they do, like the horrible violence or whatever. It just doesn't, like, affect me. Like, the stuff I thought was cool was, like, I think it's in one of the first few chapters. He, like, kills a goblin and he leaves the weapon. And, like, someone's like, why did you do this? Like, there's fat on there. That blade's useless. And, like, stuff like that. Where, like, they were really thinking about, like, medieval combat very in-depth. But it never goes past goblins, ever. Like I don't even know how far in. I could probably find out. I skipped like 2 chapters, so like I'm not super behind. I could catch up at any fucking moment, but let's see here. Let's see, when did I leave? So there's not even 30 chapters, and I'm like probably stopped at 25, 26. There's 28. So like, it's not like I don't even. It's not like it's doing anything interesting. Like, it's just so silly. It's like, oh, okay. I guess that's what we're doing. Like, it's like, I don't know. It's not interesting. It's just, I don't know. It's not interesting. It's just not. it's just like an edgelord thing. They really kind of fail on just like pushing forward like anything interesting. Like there's a part where one character is like, oh hey, this like demon army's coming, and he's like, I'll kill the goblins for you. Like, what the fuck? Why is this all you do? It's so stupid. But I digress. The first episode came out, and everyone's like, holy shit, I just watched a woman get raped. And I'll be, like I said earlier, it's not a pleasant scene, but it happens. And like, for some reason, people thought like, oh, okay, let's take what is already kind of a violent and kind of gross thing, and we're going to make it about completely anything else. And I just don't fucking understand why people. So basically, it's probably small. I don't know how big this activist group is that's trying to do this right now, but they're trying to make Goblin Slayer about the Holocaust. And like, I don't understand. Like, if you just don't like it, just don't like it. Why are you going so deep, like so hard in the paint, trying to make this thing like worse than it is? It's not even that good. Like, if it's not good, just don't like it. Like, I don't know. Because apparently, like, goblins, or the one person said was like, goblins are often the Jewish people in fiction. Also not true. That's dwarves, but whatever. Like, so mass slaughter of them is like, you know, talking about how they're like the worst race or whatever. It's like they're monsters. If you played any RPG and you've killed thousands of goblins, what are you talking about? If you played WoW and you've slaughtered fucking a bunch of kobolds, is that symbolic of the Armenian genocide? Like, no, you're just playing a game killing a monster. It's just a creature in a thing. It's pixels on a screen. It doesn't, like, if you've ever played an RPG and you've never thought about it, guess what? It doesn't matter then. Why are we making this about something that it's not? And like, especially because it's wrong. Goblins aren't like I don't know what word they even use it. It's like they're not a parallel to the Jewish people, because that's dwarves. They're big into like this is very much a Tolkien thing, but big into money, and like they use like the Hebrew language as like the basis of their written language. Like that's a dwarf thing. Like I know that sounds racist, but like that's you know what I mean. Like that was like with Tolkien's like like that's where he inspired the dwarf race from. Like they became like more Scottish down the line, but like you know that's like their thing. Like they're the that's their thing. Like that's where he inspired it from. The dwarven written language in Tolkien fiction is based off of Hebrew. Like that's just how that, you know. So it's weird that they're like, oh, it's goblins now. Like we're just gonna pretend that this has never been the case in the future. Like we're just gonna make up a past for this fictional creature. I don't know. It's super weird. Like, and they're you know very like, and the thing is too is they're clearly unpleasant creatures. Like they're super bad. The reason you watch this one a goblin rape a woman, so you can be like, oh yeah, they need to be, or, you know. They need to be getting rid of. Like, we need to get rid of them. Like, they're horrible. So, like, you can kind of relate to what Goblin Slayer's thing is. Or what do they call him? Orcbane or whatever his name is. And then that's why the priest is like, hey, like, his parallel being like, hey, this is kind of fucked up what you're doing. Like, you're going a little too hard in the paint with their slaughter. Like, maybe dial it back. And that's how they're going, like, unless it's, like, continues being horribly written, that's how they should, like, work with each other. It's like the reason she stays around is to kind of level him out and be like, hey, they're bad, and we'll take care of the bad ones when it gets bad, but, like, we don't need to go too hard. You don't have to, like, fucking, like, at one point, she, like, puts a big bubble around them, and he, like, throws a torch in and lights everything on fire, and only the things in the bubble are, like, burned to death. It's pretty violent, but, like, they're also actual savages. Like, they're actually not people. They're monsters. I don't know. It's weird. But, because the whole thing is supposed to be, like, a D&D campaign, but, like, he's, like, super smart about it, and, like, plans out everything well. Like, that's kind of, like, where that comes from. Maybe I'm just comparing this too much to like a game and not like a sociological thing, whatever, you know what I mean? I'm not bringing this to people, it's a game. That's how I'm viewing it, I guess. I just wish he killed more things and like fought, like I know he kills like a hobgoblin at one point is like a big thing, but like they've written themselves in a corner by titling it Goblin Slayer. And like and like it's so weird when he's like talking and they're like, hey, do you want to do a thing? He goes, I'm only killing goblins. I'm like, you're fucking weird. You're like, yes, he fucking is. He's a fucking weirdo. Why does he just do this one thing? And he's super weird about it. It's weird. I just don't get it. I don't know why people have to get mad about something and just say it's fucking dumb and move on. And like, don't rewrite fucking fiction. Like, I'm not the one making this up about the dwarf thing. Like, that's just what Tolkien did. I'm not saying it's a good thing. It's just like, that's what it is. Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's so odd. I don't know. Goblin Slayer's not good. Just move on. But what is good, and I love dearly, is, so I kept seeing GIFs, not GIFs, they're like actually videos of, this like little skeleton dude working in a manga store. And it was fucking weird, and I loved all these little videos I watched, so I've looked into it. And it's, what is it called? I wrote it down. Skeleton Bookstore Clerk Honda. And it is the greatest show I've ever seen in my life. I love it so much. He's just a little skeleton, and he works in a manga shop in Japan. And the first episode, he is just overrun by foreigners trying to buy porn, and that is the full episode. It's amazing. He is my boy. He's my beautiful boy, and I love him. The first clip I saw, he is working. He's just working at the counter, and this American comes up, and they have someone speaking English. It's super fascinating. Someone was speaking English. Goes, "Hello, can you help me find this manga?" And he looks at it and goes, "Holy shit, it's a hot guy." He's just like, I don't know how to handle this right now. He looks like an old man from Hollywood. He's super blown away by how good looking this guy is. He's like, "Hey, can you help me find this manga for my daughter?" And he's like, "Hey, I want Gintama porn." And he's like, "Jesus, I don't know how to tell this man we don't sell porn here." And that is the whole thing. That whole first bit, I thought it was so funny. It's so good. He's like, "Oh my god, I don't know how to handle this at all." And he's like skeleton, but he's sweating constantly. Just I don't know how to handle this. And then the other half of that episode was a bunch of foreign women. I think they were. Oh, the one girl was Swedish. I think the rest of them were they were clearly just not Japanese people. And they were trying to buy boy love manga, and they're like, "It's fucking the greatest thing ever." There's this one woman who takes a book, and she just DBZ screams "I found it!" It was awesome. I can't wait for more. It's only 13 episodes or something. I think it's based on a webcomic or something. It's adorable. It's so good. I love it so much. It's so funny. I've never thought I was like, this is a really fascinating idea for a show. Especially for this first episode of just here's a bunch of foreigners just overrunning this fucking manga shop for porn. That's all they want. They just want and it's I've never read a boy love thing, but it's so weird how I don't know if they're talking how they're talking about it is normal, but they're like, "Oh, which one do you like to be the bottom?" And I'm like, is it, do they have sex, or is it it's a terminology? I don't know. I don't know anything about it, but I don't know. They're all in plastic wrap, so I'm assuming they do fuck. I don't know. It's weird. It's such a weird. It was so funny. I loved it so much. I want more of it. I think it comes out every Sunday or something. It's the best. It's the greatest. I love it so much. God bless. God bless. It is so good. It's so wonderful. I just want more. I want more. I think there's a webcomic. I might start reading. I think it's a webcomic or it's a web show. I don't know. I forget what it came from, but it's not a normal. Because on the anime chart season thing, it's it came out for fuck, what was it? Oh, it's mini series or something. There's sections of it of this chart, and it's here's the real seasons, and here's the movies that are coming out, and there's there's a section under that was mini series or something, and then this is what this is part of. And it's wonderful. I love it so much. He is my son. I love him. Skeleton Man. Or Honda. I guess his name's Honda. Honda-san. You are my son. I love him. He's so great. He's adorable. He's just so... He's so panicked. And the crew that he works with are all also weird people. They're not one of them is a knight or something. So I guess him being a skeleton is just that the bookstore is run by people that are weird. They're not people. They're creatures. They're they're one has a bag over their head. They're just not normal. But all the people that buy stuff are normal people. I don't know. It's very funny. And what else was there? Oh, I'm gonna talk just for 10 seconds. I watched the first 8 episodes or 10 episodes of. I've missed the last 2 episodes of Hilda, and I never want to go back. It's not that. It's okay. People are it's the best show ever. It's okay. It's very okay. It's very cute. But it stops really being super fantasy focused and kind of fantasy focused in a city setting, and I could care less about the city setting. So I kind of wish it was just more about the first 2 episodes or first episode are really interesting. I like that a lot, and then they kind of vert off of that and they go to the city, and I'm not as much interested. But it's very cute, drawn very well. They do a weird thing where when they zoom the camera stays zoomed out, but they have lower res models for the little characters. So they have full eye drawings, but they'll do it to dots when they're further away. It's kind of a cute touch, but. It's way too long. It should be 8 or 6 or whatever I watched -2 because I was so tired of what I had watched. It should be -2 of that. So if I watched 8, it should be 6. If I watched 10, it should be to 8. I don't remember what the number was, but it should be 2 less of what I watched, which is 4 less of what it actually is. It's way too long. It's cute though. It's a cute show, but that's my take. It should be it'd be shorter than it is. Oh no, what did I just do? Oh, there it is. Okay, so. I want to talk about 2 video game things, but one is probably going to take me forever, so I'm going to put that at the end. It's Kingdom Hearts related. And we know how that goes. yeah, so I started playing Final Fantasy 14 again. And like, I think I might transfer servers because they made it different. So when I left, they didn't have this, but now you can play with your data center, which to those that don't know is close to like a battle group in World of Warcraft. But those who don't know what that is, think of a collective of servers under one bigger server umbrella. And now you can play within your battle group. So you can start up a group, and then your group can be projected into all the servers on your battle or your data center or your battle group. It doesn't really matter. They're all the same thing. So if you're like, hey, I want to go do this thing, 13 other servers get to know about you wanting to do this thing, and then other people can join. So it's like, I know they've been trying, or like, they've like talked about like doing like region-wide servers, and these are kind of what that is. I don't know. There's like two data groups for there's two data groups for North America, and then like Europe has one. I think Japan has two as well. But I know they kind of want to do more like what Europe has, where it's like, here's just the European server, here's the North American one, the Japanese one, that kind of thing. And I know they kind of want to do that, or they've talked about wanting to do that. I don't know if they're ever going to. This might be the closest they get. Because I know a lot of problems they have when they try to change things in Final Fantasy 14, they get stuck on the framework of the first release of that game was such shit that it like causes a lot of problems of like trying to change things. Like the reason there's classes and jobs and not just jobs, and all the new jobs are just jobs, they don't have a class like parallel, is because Yoshi P is like, I hate this system, but it is so deeply ingrained, it has to stay for the first, 9 jobs or something? And so every job now, we're never doing that again. It's really dumb, and it makes it really hard. We're going to like, it like restricts us a lot to do how we want to do this. We're not going to include this for the newer stuff, but all the old jobs are going to have this regardless. And it kind of sucks, but I kind of get it. So that's happened often. We're like, we want to do this thing, but the way this game was originally built, we can't do this thing very easily, at least. So I know they want to do that, just like these mega servers, but this is probably the closest we're going to get, at least for now. And all the people I know who play currently are playing on the other data center, is basically what I'm trying to get at. So I might transfer servers, because they're all on this other data center. And I'm on the other. Am I on Primal or on Aether? Whatever it is, the two different ones. And so you can play with them, regardless of being on their server. You're basically on one big server, so you can play. I don't think you can join their guild, but you can join their parties and stuff. You can group up with them. So I want to do. I might transfer to the other data center. Is my point. So I don't know if I'm gonna stick around where I am on Leviathan, but I was like, all right, I'll try. I'll just get to 70 because I had like kind of like 61 or something. I had barely played this new expansion, so I'll get to 70 and I'll make the decision if I make the switch or not. But I've been playing it a lot more, and it's pretty fun. I enjoy it. It's kind of weird, and it kind of made me think. Like, I think Japanese fiction is like just so much longer. Like the amount of time it feels like, at least, I've put in to leveling to, what am I, 65, 64? Like, I'm not even that far in. Like I've barely made progress. I would have been like max level in WoW, immediately, and like all this WoW, like catch-up mechanics and all this stuff, try to get you up there. But because 14 is so rooted in like the story, like it's weird, and like the story is the only thing. Is there even a way I can check this on this mobile app? I don't even know. I don't even know how this works. How do I know what level I am? Is there a way to do this? I'm going to go no. I'm going to go no, there is not. All right. I can see my character, but I have no idea how to do it. Like, the main story quests are what give you, like, a lot of XP. Like, there's, like, optional quests that show up, but I do them because I hate cluttered maps. But, like, they don't give you, like, any XP. And, like, the stories of them aren't even that interesting, really. It's like, hey, this thing happened. You're like, can you help me? You're like, all right. And you go help them. I'm like, thanks. Like, that's it. It's not that fascinating. But, like, the MSQ is, like, the main thing, and the main way you get XP in that game. Like, that's the focus, obviously. It's a story-driven MMO or whatever. But, like, because of that, you can't, like, speed up the leveling process in any way, which is weird. Like, because you need people to be, like, kind of keeping up with the main story quest. You can't, like, oh, hey, we're going to let you, like, I know they offer a level boost, but, like, that was, like, weird, and people were like, how does that work? They're like, well, you can't do anything locked out by the main story quest, so any of the trials or some of the dungeons or whatever, unless you do it. So you can be, like, max level, sure, but you have to still do the main story quest. I think that's how they did it. They've changed that since, but I remember them being like, you still have to kind of do this stuff because it's kind of important, or like it would like maybe it just caught you up to a certain main story quest and you unlocked all the content behind that, but you had to do everything. It was weird. It's weirdly paced, but like my point was, I think Japanese media is like they enjoy the long thing. They enjoy going the long route, and like it's not necessarily like a lot of showing because it's a lot of telling too, but just really long conversations of people explaining stuff in like, and manga is like this, RPG, like a lot of JRPGs are like this, and it's weird because I always thought like the Japanese people have like no free time. They're always very busy, but all of their media is very long. They very much like enjoy the long story, the long tale. It's weird. That's weird. I don't know how like, because like, yeah, like when I compare it to WoW, you know, as another MMO, like I'd be done already. I don't even know how much time I put in, but it could feel like it's way longer, and I put a lot more time in, but really I haven't. I played for maybe 4 hours total, but I'd still be like almost done in WoW because like it really doesn't take you that long to hit max level, so it's weird. It's a weird balance. I don't know which way there's like how it like. It's weird because it's weirdly paced. It feels odd, and you're like, oh, it's going on forever. Like I'm just doing nothing, but then it's like, oh, I'm actually like. I think I'm like halfway. I don't know. Actually, I think I might actually have it open because I just have to do Susanoo. Do I have it open? Oh, I do. So what is his quest? So 64, 63, probably 64, 63. Like I'm not even halfway there. It's weird, but like I'm taking forever. It's such a slow burn, but it's fun. It's a pleasant like warm blanket. It's like oh okay, just playing a game. It's fun. It's relaxing. I'm enjoying myself. Like it's okay. I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun. It's weird. Like it's the weird thing about it though is I can't like put a podcast on while I'm doing it because I have to pause it constantly to like get through story stuff. But then like you do a story thing and then it's like, hey, here's 9 optional quests. Go do them. All right, I don't have to really read these or pay attention. I can just go and just listen to the show or something. So it's kind of nice. But they changed Dragoon a lot. I'll say they changed Dragoon quite a bit. It's weird right now because I don't have the full kit. It's always weird when an expansion for this game comes out because like. It doesn't make sense. Like, the changes don't make sense right away. Like, why would they do this? This is so weird. And then you start unlocking pieces, you're like, oh, this makes way more sense. Now I understand why you would do this. It's weird, but I understand why you'd do this. It's odd. I don't know. I want to try Samurai real bad. Which is one of the new jobs I added. Because it looks really cool. And, like, it just looks cool. I don't know. I'm fascinated by it. But I'm always fascinated by a job that they add, and I never end up doing it. I always just stick with Dragoon. Because it takes a long time to get everything, like, caught up. Like, I've been wanting to do Monk forever, because Monk's fascinating. But it takes a lot of time to grind that fucking job up. I don't know if I want to do that. It's a lot of work. So, I get kind of like, well, I could do this, but it's really a lot of work, and I don't want to do this. So, I don't know. It's a mixed bag, but it's fun. I enjoy the game. I'll be playing it more. I just want to see some of the stuff. I want to do the Rathlos stuff, because you get him as a mount, which I think is pretty cool. And I want to do the Phantom Train, because I love that fight from Final Fantasy VI, and he got added to the game, so I want to fucking fight a train. So it's like some of the end game stuff I want to try, but it's this like leveling thing. I'm like, hey, because it's not that fun. It's not that fun of an experience. The end game stuff is fucking great because they really nailed they really do a good job of like boss fights and dungeons. But it's like that world leveling is like this is really boring. So it's getting through that. I've been thinking about streaming it and just being like, hey, someone distract me while I'm bored shitless over this fucking story. Like not the story, but the leveling and walking around. Because you can't, I'm like really close to unlocking flying in one zone. Or did I unlock it? No, I'm about to. About to unlock flying in one zone. And it's like, oh my god, I need it so bad because there's just so much water. I'm in like the Ruby Sea, so it's a lot of swimming and just like, what is fucking happening? I don't want this anymore. Yeah, Final Fantasy 14, good times. Now, I'm going to probably go over the hour because I have feelings about this. So, Kingdom Hearts, you're aware of it. It's weird. That's why I'm leaving this at the end. So if you want to stop, feel free to stop now, because I'm going to get fucking crazy. So the phone game. I've had my complaints in the past. I'm really upset that the Japanese version is so much... It's not so much ahead, but it's pretty far ahead of us. And, like, if I want to keep up or, like, know about certain things... And, like, sometimes it's an abridged version that we get, and that's weird, too, and I don't understand why they do that. And, like, before it made sense because it was on the computer... They had like a browser game, and we had a phone game, and they had to kind of remake some stuff. That made sense. When they brought it over to the phone in Japan, and they are both the same game now, it doesn't make much sense. It's weird. I don't know why they do it. It takes sometimes only a few weeks for us to get some content. Sometimes it takes us months to get the content Japanese players got. I don't understand. It's very weird. However, I often keep up when big news happens, and it's been rare We haven't gotten a lot of updates for the main story. It's been weird, but we finally got one. And there's a scene between Maleficent and a shadowy figure up in like a tower thing. And they had a little bit of a conversation. I guess it's after the quest where you defeat Maleficent because she was coming up to this thing. She's like, why does this keep happening to me? And the shadowy figure is like, why would you think we would let you come back? And so we begin to find out that Maleficent, when she is defeated by Riku in Kingdom Hearts 1, back in the day, back before the Keyblade War, an old man Keyblade wielder had shown up and had told her about time travel. And the way time travel works is when your heart and your body are separated, you can now time travel to a point that that a previous you has been to. And so what happens when Riku stabs her in the chest with a Keyblade? Oh, her heart and body separate. And in that one moment, she goes, I'm going to go back in time and stop this from happening. So she goes back in time. Yeah, we're back in time travel fucking bullshit. So she goes back in time to another version of Enchanted Dominion where she's going to try again. But little did she know, Enchanted Dominion never existed before the Keyblade War. I don't know how that happens. Fucking good luck answering that question. It didn't exist before the Keyblade War. I guess because the Keyblade War is what separated all the worlds. I don't know. It didn't exist. So what the Foretellers and the Master of Masters did, because they knew this would happen because the Book of Prophecies created a data version. That's right. We're back to the data versions of shit. They created a data version of Enchanted Dominion for her to get trapped in eternally. And she is stuck there. However, as we know from Birth of 3 Fight Over 2, or not 3 Fight Over 2, 3D. God, these names are terrible. As we know from this game on the 3DS, when the time travel thing was brought up, you can only travel backwards. But the shadowy figure that she's having this conversation with informs her there is a way to travel forward in time, which now explains why she shows up in Kingdom Hearts 2, and everyone's like, we killed you, and she's like, fucking nope, because she figured out how to travel forward. Series is nonsense. So, in conclusion, let us recap. Maleficent dies, travels back in time, tries to regain power, and the reason... Oh, I forgot a key point. The reason she is kept trapped in this alternate Enchanted Dominion is because she knows something about... Or because the old man is the one who tells her about time travel and the Princesses of Heart, which is important. That's important. So she is told about these things. The reason she's trapped is because she now knows what's going to happen with the, seventh Princess of Heart, which is, class? That's right, it's Kairi. That's the 7th one. She knows about how that goes down now, so they're going to trap her because she has knowledge of the future, while she's in the past, of Kairi. And they don't want to, how do they word it? I don't even know how to like really pull this up quickly and find the exact wording of all this. But they do not like that she knows stuff about Kairi. They don't say that directly. The 7th princess. And in the phone game, we've been to all 6 worlds of all the other princesses. Agrabah, Wonderland, Enchanted Dominion, Dwarf Woodlands, what am I forgetting? Castle of Dreams. What's the 6th one? What'd I forget? Jasmine, Alice, what'd I say? Aurora, Snow White, Cinderella. What is the 6th one I forgot? I don't remember now. Doesn't matter. Does it? No, it doesn't really. You get the point. The 6th. Oh, it's in Kingdom Hearts 1. Whatever, doesn't matter. So all of those worlds are in that game in some capacity. You know, you go to each one. And now what we've learned is after the Keyblade War, the reason this game keeps going is because we've been living in data versions. So it's like we're just kind of, I don't even know if we're generating actual light from doing this. That might be part of the plan, is like there's these characters, these Keyblade wielders' hearts are trapped in these data versions, and they're just generating endless amounts of light to try to, I guess, just summon Kingdom Hearts or some effect. God, what is the 6th one? I just forgot. That's weird that I forgot that. Usually I don't forget these things. Oh, I have the fucking Princess of Heart thing open as we speak. Oh, Belle. Belle's the other one. That's right. So, Beast Castle. Also worlds you can play in Unchained Key. Or Union Cross now. Whatever. So, all 6 of those worlds are active And they kind of always have been. And it was weird because we always had everything but Enchanted Dominion. And we're like, why is this the one that's missing? And this is why. It didn't show up until after the Keyblade War. Which is kind of true. We never got the Keyblade War as a scene, which is why I'm talking about, like, we have, like, abridged versions, and it's weird. We have, like, a quest where we fight a Cid, and then, like, this, like, flashback dream sequence starts to happen pretty fast, and then, like, it ends, and we're, like, still playing the game. It's, like, kind of weird. And that's kind of how they, like, sort of were like, hey, it happened, but, like, fucking who gives a shit? So it's weird. But that explains a fuckload about that game, where it's like, why are we still, like, pushing content? Like, why has the last year been a beat-for-beat recreation of the movie Aladdin? That's because we are just living a data-reconstructed version of Agrabah to just like, because the Book of Prophecies knows it's going to happen, so it's just projecting the future for us in a data space. So we will infinitely live, which honestly makes this endless grind nightmare of a game make so much sense in canon. It's so weird that they're like, oh, hey, we're making a gacha game that's endless, this endless grind. There's a canonical reason that exists like that. All right, Nomura, you fucking got me. I'm all in, and I mean, even harder than I was. It's so weird. This game's so weird. This series is so weird. But yeah, it's so odd that they're like, oh yeah, no, this all makes sense now. And like, it's kind of, all right, yeah, I'm on board. But yeah, so because of what Maleficent knows about Kairi, what's going to happen, it's probably honestly most of her ties with Sora and Riku. And honestly, I don't know what she's technically labeled as. I've always considered her the Princess of Heart of Radiant Garden, which would make the most sense. But then some fucking idiots on the internet, and I know, I see you out there, saying that she's the Princess of Heart of Destiny Island. Bitch, she was adopted. She was brought to Destiny Island. She was born in Radiant Garden. So why would she change where she's the Princess of Heart? That's weird. Doesn't make any sense. She's from Radiant Garden. Unless she's also adopted there too. I don't know. Because she didn't have parents. She just had a grandmother. And I actually didn't even know she was adopted apparently by the mayor of Destiny Islands until like 2 days ago when I was like researching this. Apparently she was adopted. I'm going to replay all of them very soon. And not skip the cutscenes. I've been playing them for my cousin, but like just to platinum them again and again. So I don't really watch the cutscenes, so I'm trying to do it as quickly as possible. Which I can do. I can do the first one in like 40 hours. Fun fact. Which is kind of crazy, because like, you know, it's an RPG. And I can platinum Horizon Zero Dawn in 40 hours. And I can do Kingdom Hearts. I just know where I'm going, you know. So, and I can like, they have like difficulty trophies, so you can kind of like finagle yourself, where it's like, all right, you don't switch equipment, and you play on, you know, or you don't do continues or whatever on beginner, because you're never going to die anyway, and the weapon doesn't really matter. Actually, when you start beginner, you get a bunch of fucking a stat boost, so you can kind of actually make up the difference of like not changing equipment in any way. So it kind of makes sense. I digress. There's ways to finagle it. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts is crazy now. It's fucking bananas. I'm loving it. I'm loving every second. As you can probably tell, I'm fucking in love. I'm so happy. Kingdom Hearts is so stupid. It's so great. Honestly, I love anything that can take a fucking terrible thing, like something so dumb, like a phone game that's super like spend a bunch of money, fucking grind real hard, you know, all that nonsense, and make it like a canonical reason for you to be like driven mad by this. It's so wonderful. What a dumb thing. I fucking hate it. It's so great. I can't wait till we get some more of this though. And I'm hoping, fucking fingers fucking crossed, they don't bone us with like, we get like an abridged version of it. But I'm fucking fascinated. And there's a bunch of people online right now trying to do like theories and stuff. I'm not going to try right now. I'm definitely going, the only thing I'm going to say is it's probably Lucio that's talking. Because that's a character that like didn't exist and then all of a sudden existed, and existed really hard. And we're like, wow, this is a really important person. Who is this? Why do they have a box and the no-name Keyblade? And like a lot is happening. There's a lot happening with this character who like didn't exist and now exists, and he exists real hard. Like, what is this? He's weird, but I love it. I honestly am kind of hoping the Master of Masters has a big part in 3. I don't think he will. Like, if Xehanort's not the last boss, there's no God. Like, how do you do that? How do you build this much? Xehanort being like anime Satan, and like not having him be anything related to the last boss. I mean, granted, you could have him die like and be defeated pretty early on. The Master of Masters just being like, yo, what up? But in the end, the Master of Masters under a hood. We don't know what he looks like, so he could just be Xehanort. I don't know. It's hard to tell. There's a lot happening. I bet you could probably get some information if you checked voice actors, because they frequently make sure they're the same person. If they're a connected person, they're a similar voice actor. Like Roxas and Ventus, both Jesse McCartney. Although apparently he hasn't, well, I don't know. Apparently he's not been doing voice acting work, but like the VO for the Kingdom Hearts 3 has been done for years now. The guy who does Goofy's voice is like, yeah, I just did Kingdom Hearts 3's voice acting or something. And I was like, what? When? Like way before the game like had a date announced. Like, what is happening? So I assume all that VO stuff is way done. But like Vanitas and Sora have the same voice. They're both Haley Joel Osment. So like they try real hard to like, if you're a same person. Who's the voice of Domine actually? I'm just gonna do it on my computer because I have the wiki open. I don't remember who her voice is, but yeah. So they often try to pair it up. And it's like this person is this person, like they're connected. It changed. It's Brittany Snow. Now it's Megan Merton. I don't know who that is. So, but I know they changed Kyrie's voice from like fuck. What was her? What was it? It was the girl from Heroes. What was her name? I don't remember her name. No shit. Is Kyrie just listed quickly? Yeah, she sure is. No way of Kyrie. There he is. Hayden Panettiere. Or how do you pronounce her name? Hayden Panettiere. Yeah, Panettiere. No, wait, no. Wait, what? What? She was in 3D? What? Huh? How did they do? What? Huh? Who? Huh? It's been Allison Stone forever. Or Stoner. Is Allison Stoner? I always thought it was Allison Stone. It was Allison Stoner, who I thought was the replacement. But Hayden Panettiere was in 3D? What? In Birth... What? Who? How do they do this? I'm so confused. Like, of all the games to have her change voices, why would you do it? Because, like, Chain of Memories and, like, 3 Fighter 2 was Allison Stoner. And then she came back for 3D? Like, that's weird. She skipped 2 games to come back? That's so weird. I wish they would keep her the same, but, like, you picked a really hard person. Back then, too. I don't know how much Hayden Panettiere does nowadays. Is she, like, super busy? Because, like, when they picked her up, she was hot. Like, she was like, I think still on Heroes. Where's her television to filmography? There it is. I'm pretty sure she was, like, still on Heroes when they were like, hey, would you like to get 2006? So, yeah, she was still on Heroes when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out. So, like, she was hot. She was, like, a big deal. So, like, I was, like, I understand when they were like, oh, you can leave. Like, you are a big deal. But she, like, apparently left later. I don't know, that's super weird. That's super confusing. Because, like, Allison Stoner, I understood. She was, like, on Disney Channel. They're like, hey. Because I always assume Disney Channel or Disney just has a bucket somewhere of, like, voice actors, and they just reach into male voice and female voice, pull out a ticket, and they're like, this is the person we're hiring. Get all of the money together. Because it's always super random when they have, like, weird people just show up. Like Lance Bass as Sephiroth. I still don't understand how that happened. So I'm assuming they just have big buckets of voice actors. They just reach in, they go, haha, it's this person. They have fistfuls of names. And like, these are the people we're using. It's weird. But I'm so excited that Kingdom Hearts is like really, really ramping up. It is getting super stupid and super dumb and just getting out of hand. And I love it. And honestly, I can't say I love anything more right now. It's so fucking great. I love the fact that they're like, hey, this stupid thing that makes no sense, now it makes sense. Go fuck yourself. I'm like, ah, damn it, no more. You got me. I was complaining for nothing. But I was complaining for reasons. It really shouldn't take years before we find this information out. Oh my god. I just want, like, and maybe it's asking too much, but I just fucking want, like, all of the Unchained Key lore to just be given to us just quickly. I'll still play your game. The fact that I now know that the reason it is a fucking mouse wheel is because it's supposed to be, or hamster wheel. I guess it's a hamster wheel. That might still run on wheels. The reason it's a hamster wheel is because it's supposed to be, because of canon. And, like, I'm okay with that now. I'm okay with spending $15 a week. Are you fucking kidding me? $15 a week to play your stupid fucking game like, with everything unlocked. $15 a week. Isn't that crazy? Like, World of Warcraft's $15 a month for way more content. I actually had paid this before that amount because you get, like, medals and stuff. There's a lot you unlock, but I digress. I've had done that and, like, run out of things to do. like, where do I grind right now? What more can I possibly do that I had to pay for? Like, that's the key. You can do like say 70% of it, and like an extra 30% is unlocked by paying for it. Plus, you get money, or you get the in-game currency to buy or pull for a medal, and then you also get there's usually like a weekly medal you can unlock if you just grind this quick thing, but it usually takes like 2 seconds. And like my power ceiling is crazy right now. I do mad damage. So like it's crazy that like nothing's like really a challenge ever. So I just really blow through a lot of content, but still, it all makes sense. It's all coming together. I love it. I'm a big fan. It's actually coming together, and it's not total fucking nonsense. I mean, it's still nonsense, but like it makes sense. So that's good. Big fan that we're bringing time travel back. Said no one ever. But yeah, so that's Kingdom Hearts right now. Actually, I went through that a lot faster than I thought I would. I thought it would take me a minute. I think it's only like a... Do I have it open? I fucking sure do, I think. Is that what this is? What is this? Yeah, I'm sure I have it open. Okay. It's like 4.5 minutes. It's only 4.5 minutes. So, like, obviously, it's not a ton of lore here. I'm just going to rewatch this real quick. It's so silly. Well, what's crazy, too, is it probably isn't Lucio. It's probably some fucking crazy curveball that's like, oh, fuck yourself. It's not who you think it is. And it's like, why do they do this to me? It's also kind of cool that they're making Maleficent like a real villain. I think that's actually kind of neat. Like, I'm a fan of that. I like her as a character. And honestly, I never thought she was like a jobber villain. I always thought she was like... And it's weird, too, that people think that. And, like, people think that and have still played Recoded. Because, like, I think it's the secret ending to Recoded. Like, she's like, we need the Book of Prophecies. Not like the book. She directly names the thing that tells the future. She's like, we need the thing here. And that's crazy. And now she's like walking around looking for the box that Lucio's walking. Like, this woman is a crazy powerful villain. We need, like, she's not like a total chump. Like, it's crazy. How do people think that she's like a total wimp? Like, she's like a big threat. Like, it's so weird. Now, like, people are like, no, she's not a thing. She's just like, she's a total coward. And she's like a total pimpin' too. Like, she helps you out in a major way. She saves your life. Sora. But I guess you are Sora, so I'll just say you. But, like, she saves your life. Like, how can you be like, oh, she's a total chump? Like, fuck Maleficent. Like, she's a serious character. She plays a huge role. She always has. And, like, now people are like, oh, yeah, she plays a huge role. It's like, you fucking idiot. Like, of course. She always has. What are you talking about? Fucking clown? Jesus. Oh, wait a minute. Is Castle of Dreams also? I'm like live reacting to this, but I've already seen this once before. But like, I think Castle of Dreams might be data as well. Because it wasn't on the fucking... Several worlds pop out of the book that they're showing there. So I'm wondering now if like Castle of Dreams is also a datascape. And was like created after Keyblade War. After the Keyblade War. But like, you don't actually go to those worlds. You just use the Book of Prophecies to project the worlds for you. So I don't even know how that works. It's kind of the Book of Prophecies makes a lot of stuff confusing, but like, I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird fucking thing. It's a weird concept. They like rock with like, oh yeah, this is how this works now. It's like and weird too. Like I think Castle of Dreams came out after the Beauty and the Beast world, because that Keyblade's pretty good. So that's probably why they did. All right, maybe I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird that like there's like this like they set the groundwork for like this like you can be as weird like with the datascapes and like although apparently this world takes place in the realm of sleep, but I don't know how true that is, because like people are like, oh, I mean, I was reading the comments on this video, and like it's not surprising that people are just they have no fucking clue what they're talking about. But someone had mentioned like, so Unchained Key takes place in the dream world in the data realm, and it's like I don't know about the dream thing, because like the Cherethies are spirits, which are like the dream creatures, which only should exist in the dream world. At least I thought, but that's the ending of 3D. Sora goes and hangs out with a bunch of them in what seems like present day Traverse Town. And then the footage for Kingdom Hearts 3, Monsters Inc., you can like summon, and there's footage of them using like dream eaters. So I have no idea. Oh, excuse me. So I have like no idea like how they actually work, because they're kind of like in this in Unchained Key, that universe, they're like built. The spirits are built. Charities and the spirit companion you have, they're like in a lab. They're like built. So I don't know if like you can like, they're like creating dreams. I'm not really sure what that is. I wish, and that's why I think I need to play 3D again, because I don't fully understand like how it like works. You know, like what about Dream Eaters, how that functions completely, because it doesn't make much sense to me. But I don't know. I've been going on for way too much. I doubt anyone's even still listening to me ramble about Kingdom Hearts. It's probably like 6 of you, like, oh yeah, this is the best thing ever. But so complicated. I feel like I have a good grasp on it, but every once in a while they throw in a wrench like this. You're like, oh shit, okay. Things make more sense, but my previous notions are totally wrong. So I'm going to stop there. And on that note, Kingdom Hearts is the greatest thing to happen to mankind. So that is the greatest thing to happen with the Disney license. Fucking don't even bother adding me, because you're just wrong if you disagree. Like, you couldn't be more incorrect. Like, when was the last time you thought about Snow White? Fucking never. Coward. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I love Kingdom Hearts. Alright, I'm gonna wrap up. It's been too long since I've done this. Should do it again. We should do it again. You should come by. Let's do it again. It's fun. I enjoy it. Is there anything else I want to say? If you want more, well, see, I haven't really done. Bongo Cat kind of died. It's kind of sad. I was say, if you want more Bongo Cat memes, follow me on Twitter. But like, he's not really around anymore. He's not as popular. I love him. He was my son. But now my son is Honda. I love Honda. He is my son. So yeah, if you are, follow me on Twitter, Abernack, as I am everywhere on the internet. Email the show, yourbraintom@gmail.com. Fill me full of questions or concerns or your Kingdom Hearts theories that are ultimately going to be wrong, because we're going to learn a piece of information that you had no reason to know. But if you have a theory, let me know. I'd actually love to read Kingdom Hearts theories. We can break them down on the show. I can do research. That'd be actually kind of fun. Someone like sends me something, I have to like research if it like how much of it could work out, and like aspects of like the world and how they play out. That would be insane, because that would involve a lot. Because it's not, there's no Kingdom Hearts. There's not like central place of Kingdom Hearts information. Like, it's a lot of the wikis are fan run, so a lot of them are wrong. Like, just go to the what is this thing called? Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, Witch Trapped in the World of Data English subs. This video. Just go down the comment section and be like, nothing any one of these people are saying is right. Everyone's wrong, because no one knows what they're talking about. Granted, it's a YouTube comment section, so everyone's just dumb as fuck. But like, it's bad. They're wrong. A lot of them don't know what they're talking about. But yeah, I'm done. I hope you had fun. I hope I touched you right there in the special place. That's right. Yeah, you can determine what the special place is, but I touched it right there. Boop boop. I booped your special place. All right, I'm done before I find myself in a crime. Yeah, so email the show, yourbraintom@gmail.com. Follow me on Twitter if you want. And I'll see you, hopefully, in... Oh, no, actually, I think I'm recording on Tuesday for another one with a guest. Wow. Whoa. Yeah, so there's that. I should be back next week, hopefully. This impromptu week off is enough for me. I got sick for a minute there. I've been coughing and, like, really all day today, but... I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. All right, I'm done. Love and kisses.